unreal. But what was the Silvergate news, Ponzi?
They're liquidating, I think.
Yeah, the actual bank. It's headline season, which is how you get chopped up.
100%.
So, Q1 is going to end soon, which is kind of hard to believe because it went fast. But between the 14th and the 22nd, I mean, like CPI and then, it's my dog, sorry, FOMC, things went up a lot, right? So people are taking profits. Like some of these things are still up a lot from the bottom lows. So you got to just think about distribution takes a little bit. It was pretty hard to figure out if it was going to be distribution up here, but if we break the 21.3, that's technically like a lower low, right, on Bitcoin.
Yep.
So, Ethereum, where's that low? So that's 1460, right? And you start looking at the fibs, like is 1335 unreasonable to think about from here? Not really.
I like 1395. I've liked that as a bid for a while now. So if you bring that upon me, I will be very happy.
Yeah, and so BTC, I mean, this 19.3 is the 61.8. Like if the dollar's going to keep going up to that level, then these are things that are very feasible in my mind. Alts can bleed a lot more.
If you showed me the chart that you have up right now without any sort of sentiment, if you didn't tell me what the asset was, if I didn't know anything, if I didn't have a bias or a narrative, my immediate reaction would be to long a retest of that diagonal breakout.
Yeah, I know, right? That's
which would be
you're not wrong, dude.
That'd be too
yearly open.
So maybe does it go that deep? And if it does, everyone's calling for 10K. Guarantee sentiment is reset.
100%, dude. I'm calling for 10K there. Get the fuck out of
here. Yeah. So it's tricky. I mean, just outside of BTC and ETH, when you start to see these red deltas build up and price still going down, that means spot is getting dumped and people are trying to long it. And so I wanted to buy Lido at a certain level, and I was like, I'm going in there. And when that failed, it just kept bleeding, right? So
pull that chart up. How's that looking, by the way? I haven't.
Lido? Yeah. Looks like it's going to go to 212 and has the opportunity to maybe do this.
The range low thing, yeah.
Right? And if you look at it against our friends Bitcoin and Ethereum, which has primarily been a great way to trade it, it's just going down against it, right? So where does that go to? I'm not sure, but the thing continues to bleed. And if you're just trading a diagonal, 50%, 210 right here, that's off of this 90 cents to 330. Right. Yeah. This is where I talk about this is the swing high, swing low, find the fib where it may bounce. That's kind of the game. And then I think if we looked at the liquidity on it,
it's so hard to trade those staking derivative tokens.
There's a fundamental narrative to it, which kind of gives it credence to going up whenever it's quote unquote undervalued. But yeah, the liquidity on it, there's been a bunch of Dragonfly dumping it. Founder of Maker Rune's been swapping it for Maker. There's a whole bunch of sellers in the market who are basically TPing, taking their profits off.
They smoke it every time it gets here. This is the thing though, the moves on it, you used to get full delta reversals on these altcoins. Now you're getting okay, maybe an hour you can trade it and then you have to get out, right? So it's you will get to a point where this becomes exhausted and you really want to look green circles, green circles. These are longs. These are all longs entering right here. You want to see
a plunging lows.
Yeah. So I just am kind of in a observing mode, knowing what is coming on the macro front. And I've been here before trying to long this. I remember trying to long CHZ when it was fully red delta for a month. And it just didn't work, right? So it's kind of one of those things where I'm going to wait till there's some higher time frame stuff that maybe looks like you get a bounce, but everything in between right now is such a short-term move. And you can trade it if you want. I'm just not that type of trader.
The echo bubble is kind of over in the sense that it was much shorter than people expected. It was less BTC propellant because there's still so much fucking greed in the market, man. the market is still PvP. Like we saw the alt market cap barely rise. That means no new retail participants are kind of coming into the space, so everyone's just dumping on each other. And like you said, Pons, the hot ball of money rotation is kind of just like fizzled out. So everyone's going for the exits. Everyone's just trying to get whatever profits they can get out with. And at this point, it doesn't seem very likely that this 21.2 level will hold. But I'm hopeful between 20.3 and 21.2. Those are kind of like my two levels I'm watching. Invalidation on the setup goes like below the cloud at 18.7. But again, like, can we wick down here and do that? For sure. So yeah, I'm kind of short-term bearish, especially with the DXY, like, Trip showed. It just seems that right now the market is pricing in risk off. And, this Kijun is at 107.8. The daily edge to edge is to 107.9. So like there's a lot of reasons to be short-term bearish, or at least expect healthy pullbacks across the board.